Hello, hello, hey, sweet people, and welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. My name is Foster, and as always, I am here with
Alexia. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode from Inglês no Rádio.
We're back. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
This is the first time that we are recording live new episodes in probably a month, 2 months, maybe?
I have no idea and who's counting. Probably you, but that's fine.
I think we stopped counting around episode 300. So, yeah, Alexia, let's dive straight in. Let's see if we remember how to podcast, which is to say, how to speak like a normal human.
Yes, we know how to speak. We love doing this. I think it's super natural for us. And, well, we are recording this only 3 days before Christmas of 2022. And we are recording from our living room, not from a studio. So if you guys hear our dog or our neighbors, this is Inglês no Rádio. This is not a podcast gourmetizado. This is podcast raiz.
Yeah, we are indie podcasters. We are doing this thing the best we can, and yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So, Alexia, you presented the idea to me that since we have not recorded new episodes in a while, that we should probably give our sweet listeners a quick update about what we've been up to, what we've been doing. So, how would you like to answer that question?
Well, I think that the last few months of 2022 has been pretty challenging, but not in a bad way. Well, also in a bad way, but also in a good way. It was 50-50, I think.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say one thing that I remembered right now? You said we're recording this a few days before Christmas on 2022. I think that's a good thing that we probably should have done, like when we started podcasting, is say the date that we're recording this on, because most people will be listening in the future.
Yeah.
Well, all people, because no one's listening live right now except our dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah, today, December 21st, 2022.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alexia, I interrupted. You were speaking about our last few months.
Yeah, so I think that individually and as business partners and everything, it has been pretty challenging with a lot of changes. And not changes, but like reorganizing. I think that's a word for me. If I could describe 2022, I would say that it was a year for reorganize. And I think it fits pretty well because after 2 years of COVID, that everything was kind of floating without a direction, 2022 came, so we could reorganize our lives, our mental health, our businesses, our everything.
Yeah, I like that. Normally, I remember in the past, we normally do a word of the year for the year to come. So like in 2023, I haven't thought of my word of the year yet, but normally we do it for the future. I think that's a really interesting concept to do it for the year in retrospect.
Yeah.
So for you, reorganization?
Yeah. And it took a lot from me. Like I had to have the courage. Yeah, I had to have the courage, a coragem.
Courage. Yeah, just like courage. Courage.
Courage.
Nice. Super Southern.
To make a few decisions that without you, I wouldn't be able to take that step at all. And I think that reorganization is pretty good. Yeah, this is going to be a good thing to talk during my therapy session this week. I like that.
Nice. I think if I had to give a word for 2022, I haven't thought about this really much at all, but something related to reorganization seems
You
right.
always come up with better words or adjectives than me.
Adjectives.
Adjective.
This is an impossible word for me in Portuguese as well. So repeat with me, Alexia. Adjectives.
Adjectives.
Yeah. So
Adja.
like,
Adja.
yeah, like agiu. Yeah. Adjectives.
Adjectives. How do you say it in Portuguese?
Can you say it first?
Adjetivo.
Adjetivo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not adjetivo.
Normally in Portuguese, I say like adjetivo.
Adjetivo.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm taking that as a compliment,
It
I
is.
suppose. I don't consider myself to be a master wordsmith, but I like to think it's kind of what we do for a living. So I hope I'm good with my words. I think maybe I would say transition. You were talking about this idea of after almost 3 years of COVID pandemic that really felt like this floating, directionless, like there's no clear path to take. Like we're all just trying to survive this terrible time. Now that things are relatively normal,
Yeah.
in quotations that you cannot see, it's kind of time to take inventory of our lives and think, where do we want to go from here?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've been sitting with this year.
That's true. Well, but that's what I was trying to explain, because with this inventory and reorganization and specifically talking about language learning, I think that for me with English, come on, I've been stuck for a little bit.
Okay. The elephant in the room. Do you understand that phrase?
Yeah. O elefante branco. Yeah.
Elefante branco. The white elephant. In English, we say the elephant in the room. I think the elephant in the room for both of us is we started this podcast and our other podcast, Carioca Connection, which is the same thing, but in Portuguese. We started these podcasts so we could improve our language skills. So Alexia could improve her English and I could improve my Portuguese. And to be honest, I don't think my Portuguese has improved much in the last 4-5 years.
I disagree with that, but
I disagree with your English as well.
but from my point of view, from my POV, what?
You can definitely say POV. I think in writing, it makes more sense.
I was just, because it's everywhere on TikTok, and now Brazilians are using POV as well.
It's a
Yeah.
TikTok thing. Okay.
Yeah. So from my point of view, I think that my English is always getting a little bit better every now and then, specifically with conversation topics. I am not afraid of speaking to anyone in English anymore. Give me a doctor, a politician, whoever that person is, I will get around that situation.
Mm-hmm. I think in that case, I would say I would get by.
I would get by.
I think a perfect translation for that.
But what's the difference between get around and get by?
That is
Great question, Alexia.
a great question, and it is still pretty early in the morning. So in this specific context, to get by is eu me viro, eu posso me virar, right? To get around, honestly, I mean, you can use to get around or to get by in a variety of contexts. I would say to get around is like to get around town, like movement, like you're actually transporting yourself. When to get by is
The situation.
yeah, like I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I can make it work.
Yeah. So my confiança.
Confidence.
Yes, my confidence in English is much, 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 much better nowadays. But I know,
You could just say, I'm more confident.
but I know that I am still making mistakes that I shouldn't be making nowadays.
Yeah. I think,
So this is frustrating.
yeah, I think we both know, like intellectually, that, for example, your English is definitely much better, more advanced than it was 2 years ago. Your English has improved drastically in the last 2 months. We just spent some time in the US visiting my family, and your English was impeccable. But I think this happens with all language learners, where you just feel like you're stuck, like you're not. Maybe you're improving by like 0.001%, but it doesn't, you can't feel
Feel it.
like you're
Yeah.
making progress. And
But-
that's super frustrating.
Yeah, but there are general reasons why maybe other people are feeling the same. Can I present those reasons? So maybe whoever is listening to us will see themselves in this kind of situation.
Absolutely. Are you
So-
asking for permission?
It's not a permission, it's just like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Paint us a picture, Alexia.
So the first reason that you might be feeling stuck, independently of your English level,
I would say independent of your English level.
yeah, independent of your English level,
To be honest, the most natural way I would say that is regardless of your English level.
that no matter what your English level is.
Nice.
So if you already reached to your goals. So for me, for example, yeah, I want to be amazing while speaking English and being able to communicate with anyone. I got that. I got there. I okay with that. You can leave me with your grandma who is 98 years old or with your cousin, Campson, and I love Campson, and I'll be okay because Campson speaks really fast. But nowadays, I'm super okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you had a goal or an objective in your mind, like one day I would love to be able to speak English with anyone in the US, with Foster's family, and be confident about that. And now you've reached that goal.
Yeah.
And so now you're here like,
What's next?
okay, what do I do now?
Exactly. So, okay, this is one point. The second point is if you don't have any goals, if you don't have any idea of what you should conquer with your English.
Yeah, directionless,
Exactly.
which I would probably say like 90% of language learners do not have clear goals,
Yeah.
which is a topic for another episode.
The other point is if you are in a forever loop and doing the same and the same and the same, and you don't take challenges and you don't try anything else that it's new for you because you're comfortable and you don't want to try.
Yeah, kind of stuck in your comfort zone.
Yeah. And if you don't feel confident at all, so if you don't feel confident with what you're saying in English, even though you have the perfect grammar, the perfect vocabulary, it won't be good.
Can I give you 2 quick tips to kind of close out this episode, because I hear our neighbor's baby crying? So first, Alexia, can you say the word confident?
Confident.
Yes, you were saying some version of like con, but it's confident.
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 De Kanye. No. Kanye.
Kanye.
Yeah. Confident. Kanye. Yeah.
Secondly, I believe you said something like the perfect English, the perfect grammar, the perfect vocabulary. You don't need the in any of those situations. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry, you had one more point?
One more point is how do you say that? Is a natural desaceleração.
Deacceleration?
Yeah. So I think that this is also happening with me because I did this, I did that, I got to this point, and then I start getting like a little bit slower than I should have with my English learning journey. So it's a natural feeling that we all have, like, okay, so if I can get by this situation, I don't need to keep studying or trying new things, it's a natural thing.
Yeah. We've talked about this many times on the show, that learning a new language is not a linear process. So it's not a straight line of just constant improvement, but you have these plateaus where you're improving a lot, and you're speaking, you're getting more confident. And then for a few months, maybe a few years even, you kind of get stuck, and then you start getting better again, and then you get back up. And it's kind of an up and down roller coaster ride.
Yeah. So can we agree that next episode, we are going to bring some strategies to be unstuck?
To get unstuck.
To get unstuck.
Yeah. I would suggest that we could probably do an entire series of episodes addressing each one of these topics, strategies, how to overcome them, and how to make 2023 the year that, I don't know, you achieve your English goals, or you don't feel stuck, or just a good year in general.
Yes, sir. Okay. So happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Good to be back, Alexia. And as
we
always,
love y'all.
Keep up the good fight.
And live well. Bye.